Hello everyone, my name is Trevor and today I'm going to talk to you about these shoes I made. If you want to see me make other cool stuff like these shoes, hit the subscribe button and I'll be posting more on this channel. Before we start, where was I these last 4 years? I haven't uploaded a video in 4 years. Well, a little recap. 4 years ago I learned how to make shoes and I made these ones. I designed and made these myself using a Jordan 1 Last and some Dunk soles, and they're awesome. I have a whole video going into the process, and it was just what a good new skill to learn. I also, after that, made these high top cherry dunks. I took apart a dunk and made a whole pattern from it, and got these cool cherries. I was trying to make the bottoms brown. It didn't turn out well, but it was just a fun experiment. But I never posted that video because right after I finished those shoes, me and my best friend got hit by a truck. We were skateboarding on the side of the road at 2 a.m. and a truck hit us doing 40. So we lost Chuck that night and I was in critical condition. I was in a coma for 3 weeks, and after that, creating things was not my priority. Recovery was my priority. Obviously, I really wanted to keep making stuff, and so even in a hospital bed I was designing shoes. I designed a whole shoe for Chuck in his honor, and you can see them right here. Designed this shoe and I picked the colors based on his favorite Monster energy drink, the mango one. You got the orange and the blue on the insides of the shoe, and then the outsides are white and gray, pretty clean. And then I also used Sean Witherspoon, and he had a shoe with a split tongue like this, and I wanted that as well. So here's Chuck. There he is. He's cute. Anyways, miss him. These shoes turned out sick though. Also, as a result of the accident, I now had double vision. I thought that would be a cool name for a brand, and so we went from there. There's another design, this design I made for the old brand, Gaming Presumption, right before the accident as well. I did not get to sell that shirt at the market and thought that doubling it would be a good way to explain people my vision impairment. Turned out like this. It's a sick design. It's my top seller. It's it's really cool. I've made it in multiple different colors and more coming soon. So but I dropped this first one with this pink and purple, and the amount of love I received from that, I dropped it on February 3rd, so it was 2022, so it was 6 months post accident to the day, and the amount of love I received was immense. It made me feel really good, and at the time that was very hard. I've continued on with double vision though. If you check my Instagram out, I'll link it below. I have lots of cool shirts, and I print them myself on very high quality blanks. LA Apparel, it's the way to go. Also, as a result of the accident and recovery process, I got really into barefoot shoes. So I had known the benefits of barefoot shoes before the accident, but I loved my Jordans. I had lots of cool shoes, and I was a sneakerhead. I'm still a sneaker nerd. I love sneakers and just like the technology behind them, but I am a barefoot shoe guy. I really damaged my knee. The part of my femur right above my knee was shattered, and so I have a plate and 10 screws in there, and I just thought that in this process of learning how to walk again, having strong feet would really benefit that. Not to mention, in the knee recovery process, I tapped into the knees over toes guy, and he also recommended barefoot shoes, and so I knew that was what I wanted to do. At first, I just wore them to the gym or like on an outing, but nothing like crazy. I was still wearing my Jordans and had some New Balances and some Nike Blazers, whatever, cool stuff. But I went to Europe in summer of 2023, and I brought a Nike Airship and pair of zeros, and I only wore the zeros, and that kind of transitioned me to full-time barefoot shoes. So really anything else with a skinny toe box does not I can't wear those anymore. If you are looking to get in barefoot shoes, do it. Yes, I am. You will not regret it. They are the most comfortable pair of shoes you will ever wear. The zero drop, wide toe box. Let your feet be feet. They are amazing. With that being said, go into it slowly. Your feet are weak. Barefoot shoes will not make your feet stronger overnight. It will take time. Go slow. Trust the process. Don't rush it. You will be in pain if you do. Just want to say that. Wear them for a couple hours a day, or maybe slower. Go on a little short walk and increase the length of your walks. I don't know, something like your feet will keep up quickly because your body adapts, but don't start running right away. You're gonna have to change your gait. It will take some experimenting, but once you figure it out, you will be beyond happy with the results. So during this recovery, I was preparing to go back to school. Before the accident, I had applied to the industrial design program at the University of Washington, been accepted, and was pumped. I was going to go back to school and do design. It was going to be awesome. And then accident happens. So now I have to take the year off. Thankfully, UW held my spot. Thank you. And I was able to go back in the fall. That whole year of waiting, though, that was hard. I had nothing to do. That's where more shoemaking and more shirt designs came into play. So I was able to keep myself busy, but I wanted to go back to school. When I went back to school, I thought it would be a good idea to give my parents their garage back. Bad idea. I had a studio. Why would I ever give it up? Well, I thought school would take more of my time than it did, and not good. In hindsight, maybe it was good that I did that because now I know what life is like without a studio. So, take your wins, I guess. Anyways, after a sophomore year of not making personal things, I was able to get the garage back after actually not much convincing. My mom missed me in here, and I had a car now, so it would be easy to get up here and make some stuff. So I made some shirts. I was very excited. People were excited. They wanted that double vision. And then the summer after that, last summer 24, I bought a barefoot shoe last STL online, 3D printed it myself, and now I started making barefoot shoes again. Or started making shoes again, but this time in the barefoot capacity. So this was one of the ones I did, zero drop, because then I could just put a piece of rubber on it. I didn't need to get a sole from anywhere. And then wide toe box. And I really try and push myself with each different shoe. This one, I wanted to make a very round toe. I wanted to see if I could do that, and I could, but you'll notice some creasing on here, and that's because I don't have any toe puff. And that's, again, a learning experience. So I like to push myself with my shoes, and I learn each time. So last year I made 3 pairs. They went great, and then it was back to school, and so we had some fall and winter quarter, some fun projects, but then it was time to get into the capstone, and I'm the shoe guy. So guess what shoe guy's gonna do? He's gonna make a shoe. So I'll make a video like going in depth on my process in these, because these were a fun shoe to make. Look at that, I made these soles. And so first I wanted a barefoot shoe with a replaceable sole, because that's pretty much the only reason I need to replace my shoes, is just the sole wears out. They're a barefoot shoe. The uppers stay fine, the sole wears out. But after doing more research on just how wasteful shoes are, I wanted to make a compostable shoe. So these shoes are fully bio-based. So I have cornstarch-based leather, natural rubber soles that I vulcanized myself. I'll make a video explain my process for that, because that was actually a very hard thing to learn how to do. There's not really vulcanization YouTube videos. So I'm gonna make one. Trust, guys. I 3D printed a mold, poured in my mixture, let it solidify, put it in my toaster oven. Now we got a sole. That's the basic process. ChatGPT actually helped me on that, so shout out Chat. He knows what he's doing. After these were all done, I graduated and I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything going, so I just started making shorts. I wanted to get back to the market selling shirts, so I made a bunch of shorts documenting that whole process. And then after that, I was like, I should make another shoe and make some shorts documenting that process. And so that's when I decided I wanted to remake a shoe inspired by these. So these, they're not barefoot shoe. I don't wear them anymore. They hurt my feet. They don't feel good to wear. So I wanted to make these barefoot shoe, but then I realized I had all of the materials from these. So I had all of this cornstarch leather. I had this sole already made. And so might as well make a shoe like that. So inspired by the two, a blend, if you will. So that's when I got these. And so you can see I changed some things, but they are inspired by them. And I really like how these 3 different lines cascade. And then I also cut off the button attachments and just glued the sole on. I wore these. I wore them to Open Sauce in San Francisco 2 weeks ago, and they were great. They're a little warm, I will say that, but they're comfy and they're cool, and I made them, and I love walking around in shoes that I made. I've worn these twice actually. I wore them to the Fremont Sunday Market last week, so they've been getting some wear.
Now we'll get into design and I'll explain some of my choices.
Alright guys, now I'll compare the 3 shoes. So this fusion pair is, a fusion. So I took this shoe, and when I was drawing the pattern for this one on the last, I was looking at the 2 of these, at the capstone shoe and this first one. And so I really smoothed out all of these lines. I shrunk this, and then I made these 3 parts cascade on here. So, and then after I made this one, I thought I should make the toe just like the capstone one. And so now I have a 4th kind of piece cascading. It's the same on both sides. Here in the back, you can see the star, same placement. I made this stitching black so it could pop a little more. Took away one of the holes, and then I also put the tongue on the same way that I put the tongue on the capstone shoe. I used this triangle piece that goes up the tongue. Yeah, and then here's the sole. It's Kobe 9 sole, but with some thicker lines and a 5th toe. Again, I made this sole myself, and I'll show you guys how to do that later, but now we can show some on foot. Well guys, if you made it to the end, thank you for sticking around. I really enjoyed making these shoes and want to make more videos, so hit that like button if you enjoyed it. My process videos for these shoes are in the shorts, so check those out if you want to see the whole week's worth of work. The final pictures for these are on my Instagram, so that's in the description. If you want to check out my t-shirts I make, the website's also in the description. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.